through a government there. Most historians would say that led to the Ayatollahs.
One Mideast expert told Fox today the window for action is closing because the president drew a red line on violence against civilians, and he will need to act on his promise. Meantime, the president is also doubling down in his pursuit of Greenland, saying if the U.S. doesn't take it, Russia or China will, and he is not going to let that happen. Brett.
I don't know why my stream keeps on dropping.
A message today to the U.S. Supreme Court as it considers this challenge on his tariff authority.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, the president said if the court does not rule in his favor, the U.S. is, quote, screwed, arguing it would take years to unwind the question of how many hundreds of billions of dollars would need to be paid back for charges that have already been levied on imports. And that does not even include all of the investments that countries and companies made in order to get lower tariff deals. A decision from the Supreme Court is expected in the next couple of weeks.
Jackie Allen live in the North Lawn. Jackie, thank you.
Everybody's celebrating in the streets over there.
We do not seek war, but we are fully prepared for it. As I have repeatedly said, we are also ready for negotiations.
I think the president has an interest in exploring those messages. However, with that said, the president has shown he's unafraid to use military options if and when he deems necessary.
So is this the end of the Iranian regime? If you look at the protests, this is before a government shutdown of the internet, a blockage. They were spreading all over the country. The government did step in and block the internet, and it went down a bit, but it's still significant and could be making a big change depending on what happens next. Let's discuss the Iran situation with Norman Rule. He is a former national intelligence manager for Iran at the
There we go.
Director of National Intelligence Office. And
I don't know, guys. Like I said, I'm not doing shit, man. I'm just drinking and just trying to kill time to fucking go back to work.
Of these protests, what does it tell you? What does it
sucks? Fucking sucks.
Well, it tells you exactly that the intensity of the protest represents something that is not only new,
yeah, I think we're gonna confirm the dates in July. I gotta
occurring nationwide in Iran since 2017, and although many of the grievances, social and economic, are similar, the nationwide passion of these grievances and the level of violence that is being felt throughout the country is something the Iranian government can no longer contain nor hide. The lack of enthusiasm for national elections, this institutional rot is something that the government simply cannot deal with. It no longer is capable of representing its people, and the level of violence on each side is simply extraordinary. Now, the government may survive this bout of turbulence, but further unrest is certain, and you're looking at a doomed regime. It's just a question of whether change occurs because the regime decides it must change itself to survive, or the people change it,
lighting.
Change occurs because
That's what I've learned. Lighting is everything.
You've been writing a lot about this, some amazing pieces. One of them, The Atlantic, is the Iranian regime about to collapse. It says this: history suggests that regimes collapse not from single failures, but from a fatal confluence of stressors. The 5 specific conditions necessary for a revolution to succeed: a fiscal crisis, divided elites, a diverse oppositional coalition, a convincing narrative of resistance, and a favorable international environment. This winter, for the first time since 1979, Iran checks nearly all 5 boxes. So you think this could be the time?
You know, it's too soon to say, but Norm put it well. It's a history reminder that the 1979 Iranian Revolution, which replaced the U.S. allied monarchy with an anti-American theocracy, that was a one-year process. The protest against the Shah of Iran began January 1978. The Shah didn't leave Iran until January 1979. So we're just 3 weeks into these protests, and they certainly have posed the greatest existential threat that this regime has faced since its inception. My view about the Iranian regime is similar to Norm, that it's essentially been rendered a zombie regime. It has a dying ideology, a dying legitimacy, dying economy, dying leader, but it's still capable of using lethal force. That lethal force can delay its funeral, but it's not going to revive it. This is not, in my view, this is a regime which resembles the late-stage Soviet Union. It's on borrowed time.
Yeah. But Norma, as far as what could come next, you've got the exiled Iranian crown prince. He's been out and about talking. He doesn't have an army. He doesn't have boots on the ground. How does that happen if it happens?
Okay.
Well, at this point, the Iranian government, as I say, still remains in control of the country. The Revolutionary Guard and its supporters still remain in control of the economy, the corporations, and large parts of the elements of Iran that would succeed in taking charge. And you think of future Iran, but the son of the Shah does represent a symbol of the opposition, a powerful symbol. Now, it's unclear what political weight he would carry in a future Iran, and he would have to demonstrate that. And frankly, that would be difficult. He's got to show that he's got a machine that would survive in that environment, and that is an untested capacity. And I think the president has been right in questioning that. So this is going to be, but it's a long way off. We're a long way from that asking that question.
Yeah, Kareem. Last thing, the President Trump, clearly is a 25% tariff. He's talked about strikes to help protesters. He's said they're starting to cross a red line. How much does that mean on the ground to the Iranian protesters, and if he actually acts?
Well, that's critically important, Brett. You know, President Trump said more than a week ago that the United States is locked and loaded if Iran kills protesters. Since then, Iran has killed perhaps over 1,000 protesters. There's they've throttled the internet, so information is not coming out of Iran. And so I think in some ways the president has put his credibility on the line, and Iran's supreme leader is currently taunting President Trump, calling him a tyrant and saying that he's about to fall. I'll note, Brett, that the last time that Iran's supreme leader did that was January 1st, 2000. 2 days later, President Trump assassinated Qasem Soleimani.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, we appreciate your expertise, both of you. We'll have you back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
With what other presidents' efforts and what they have done and actions they have taken to protect the American people from threats in our own hemisphere. In fact, President George H.W. Bush authorized similar.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Also in the photo, Secretary Pete Hegseth briefing President Trump on the strikes. Now, here is a video the White House released shortly after those strikes, and here is the president. Watch.
And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces.
Secretary of State Rubio, John, have a trip planned to Israel tomorrow. That, of course, no longer happening given the security posture and what's going on now in the Middle East. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth out with a statement late last night. The Iranian regime had their chance, yet refused to make a deal, and now they're suffering the consequences. For almost 50 years, Iran has targeted and killed Americans, always seeking the world's most powerful weapons to further their radical cause. Last night, unlike any previous president, President Trump began dealing with this cancer. So we know that President Trump will remain here in Palm Beach for most of the day today, meeting with advisors. Then he will head back in Washington and meet with other members of his team, like the vice president and some of the other people in the national security apparatus that did not make it down physically to Mar-a-Lago. John.
David Spun, traveling with the president. David, thank you. Some of the other Gulf states are condemning Iran's retaliatory strikes on its neighbors. They're scheduled to hold urgent, high-level diplomatic meetings on Sunday where retaliatory strikes on its neighbors, were they a big miscalculation? For more, let's bring in Mehek Cook, former political and military affairs analyst at the U.S. State Department under President Obama. So Iran is lashing out at many of its neighbors. Just about any place there's an American base has seen some kind of an Iranian attack. What do you make of it, Mehek? How do you think? What should be the response?
Well, John, I think this is the biggest miscalculation on Iran's front. You're seeing Iran's greatest attack by the U.S. and Israel, and instead of responding in kind, instead of responding in a targeted fashion, they have turned their backs on their Muslim brothers. The countries that have tried to remain neutral for 5 decades have now finally showed a unified front as Iran started attacking. This wasn't just U.S. bases. They were attacking every single country they could. From, you saw airports that were being attacked, you saw hotel districts in Dubai, you saw countries that tried to remain neutral and sit on the fence now being pulled into a regional movement and conflict. And I think this is a pivotal moment. Gulf states today have a choice. They have a choice to follow President Trump's strength and to rebuild peace in the Middle East. And unfortunately for Iran, I think their time is up, because instead of building allies, they have made direct enemies. You're seeing statements come out of Saudi Arabia and Jordan talking about the attack on sovereignty and how hard the Saudis are going to work to ensure that there is regional peace and make sure that they will fight Iran at all costs. That's how I read the Foreign Ministry's letter, to make sure that we are going to have a systematic, unified response. So this is no longer Jerusalem and Washington. This is the Middle East and most of the Gulf states standing in alignment with President Trump.
As we've been speaking, we just got word that sirens have been sounded across Israel, that missiles are apparently incoming, launched from Iran. Are these the death throes of a flailing state, or does it still have a lot of military might to mess with its neighbors?
Well, look, I think these are still going to be just death throes, because they are in full-blown panic mode. They have alienated every single country that they could potentially have relied on in terms of neighbors. And I've been to Israel. I know what the missiles are like. I know what the alarms are like. And I know what the bomb shelters are like. And I'm speaking directly to a couple confidential sources that are IDF soldiers on the ground. And they're telling me that their families are pretty much staying in these bomb shelters, John. They want to make sure that they're safe. But at the end of the day, Israel has one of the strongest defenses, and these missiles aren't going to be able to cause a lot of damage. I think that Iran is in their final hours, and I think President Trump's message was so strong to the people of Iran. This is their country, and they need to fight to take it back. Their actions will determine the course of generations to come.
How confident are you that the Iranian people are going to be able to restore a government that is actually responsive to their needs, rather than this theocracy that we've seen since 1979?
You know, it's been 47 years, and it took 47th President Trump to actually bring peace to the Middle East. I can't guarantee that there's going to be realignment immediately, but I do know that this is going to take time. And the fact that you have neighbors on all sides in the Gulf actually coming in and saying, we want to establish peace, I actually think we're going to have security agreements that are akin to the Abraham Accords, and we're going to actually build momentum through strategic alliances and intel sharing. And I think that, at the end of the day, will help with governance in Iran.
Mehek Cook, formerly a military and political affairs analyst at the U.S. State Department. Mehek, thanks for your insights. So the balance of power in the Middle East seems to be changing, and we continue to get word of other high-level Iranian military leaders who were taken out in that strike. We'll have more coverage just ahead on Fox. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne
Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
Dog grooming genius here. No, over here. And I live for operational excellence.
Okay, hold on.
Let's switch this camera around. So we'll just do that. Now it's coming back looking at me. You can see me and the camera there. So let's now switch it to share the screen. We'll start screen share and switch across to the DJI. Okay, so now you're seeing, and we should be live streaming what's on the DJI app. So we're going to spin around here. And I'm going to now go for a run up and down these steps. I'm doing this live stream here because I'm using an app called Streamlabs because basically the DJI, as default, the Osmo didn't come with streaming functionality, so you can't stream directly to YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. I went into the user forum and someone suggested Streamlabs, so now this is a test using Streamlabs. Just sharing my screen so you can see the apps here. Let's start recording this as an actual video and you'll see what happens. And let's do some running down. DJI, this is going to be up here or somewhere on the end screen so you can find.
Let's bring in Washington correspondent Jonathan Kersley. This is an unfolding situation, a lot of news coming each hour, and Iran vowing revenge in the wake of the death of the Ayatollah, Jonathan.
They are, as you mentioned. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard, through Iranian State TV, has announced that he's going to carry out the most intense offensive operation against Israel and US bases in the region. We wait to see what that looks like if indeed that is carried out. And I want to bring you a statement that I've just received from the Iranian Armed Forces, which says that we will make the enemies of this nation regret the assassination of Khomeini, and that Iran will continue on the path of Khomeini until the surrender of the enemy. This clearly powerful statements coming out of Iran. The Ayatollah had led the regime for some 37 years. It was a regime described by the United States as the world's worst sponsor of terror. It was a regime that supported the likes of the Houthis in Yemen, Hezbollah in Lebanon, militias in Iraq and in Syria. And clearly there had been concern from the United States and Israel about the development of nuclear weapons, about the use of ballistic missiles far beyond its borders. In this major combat operation announced by President Trump earlier today and carried out with Israel, it was the largest operation by Israel's air forces, and we saw video released of the strikes on Ayatollah Khomeini's compounds. Those strikes taking place around about 9:30 or so local time in the morning, Iran time. We've also seen satellite images of what was left of that compound.
What we got for a snack here?
Strikes. And then we heard through Israeli officials and various reporting through news agencies, including Reuters, that Ayatollah Khomeini's body had been found in that rubble. And now the confirmation from Iranian state TV that the Ayatollah is dead. This is an earth-shattering movement that will shake the regime and the foundations of it, and for the people inside Iran itself. We have seen celebrations on the streets of Tehran as people had reacted to the news of the Ayatollah's death. I want to bring you the statement from President Trump, because earlier today, Kieran, he went to Truth Social. He's been based at Mar-a-Lago. That was where he recorded that video statement. That is where he had a makeshift situation room, gathering with key figures to watch this all unfold and get the latest developments. But his statement on Truth Social said, Khomeini, one of the most evil people in history, is dead. He was unable to avoid our intelligence, and working closely with Israel, there was not a thing he could do. He goes on to say, this is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. The heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week, or as long as necessary, to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East and the world. And that's the big statement now. now is how long is this military offensive going to go on for? Because Israel has already said a number of key senior officials inside the IRGC and inside the regime have been killed in these strikes. You mentioned state TV confirming also the death of the Ayatollah's daughter and a grandchild in these strikes, and they have been vast and expansive across Iran. Now we wait to see exactly how the Iranian regime is going to respond to the news and confirmation of Ayatollah Khomeini's death. But this is what Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had to say earlier today.
Let's do that, yeah.
Jonathan, we'll get to that comment from the Israeli Prime Minister. We don't have that, but I want to touch on something you mentioned there, the Iranian retaliation. That has continued. Can you give us the latest on that situation? What news do we have on that front?
Yeah, the Iranian retaliation was swift in response to the initial waves. There were attacks on places including Doha and Qatar and Bahrain, also targeting US bases there. And this is what the Iranian regime had gone after. The United States saying that no personnel, no US personnel have been killed or injured. The damage was minimal. But the Iranian retaliation we have seen target not only US bases, but it seems also airports have come under attack as well. Dubai's international airport said that 4 people were injured in an incident there. Abu Dhabi's international airport said that 1 person was killed, at least 7 injured in a strike there. And we also saw images out of Bahrain's international airport. So this has been widespread, not just targeting clearly US bases and Israeli interests. We did see too, though, inside Iran, inside Israel itself, that Iron Dome was penetrated. An Iranian missile falling in Tel Aviv, and we heard from that report we delivered from CNN's Jeremy Diamond a short time ago, inside Tel Aviv itself, with the destruction there, you could see from those images was widespread, and the concern would have been is how is that missile managed to penetrate the Iron Dome. But as far as Iran's retaliation goes, as I mentioned before, the IRGC now saying that it will carry out the most intense strike yet. So what will come of that? That is going to be the key one to watch in the hours that follow, as Iran, what is left of the regime and its leadership, responds to the death of somebody who ruled the regime with an iron fist for some 37 years.
Now, Jono, the UN Security Council has convened. What was the official comment there from Iran as the strikes unfolded, as they were being hit by the United States and Israel?
I think this was really interesting to see as the United Nations brought together the Security Council for this crisis in the Middle East, a moment that could very well define Donald Trump's second term as president. Iran pointed the finger directly at the United States and at Israel, accusing it of breaching the UN Charter, accusing it of breaching international law, and vowing that Iran will continue to defend itself. But Kira, it was interesting to note there seemed to be confusion coming out of Iranian officials from the moment this strike was carried out. We heard the Iranian foreign minister at one point say, yes, the leadership, including the Ayatollah, was alive. Another official then seemed to almost counter that by saying he wasn't sure of the situation. There seemed to be confusion throughout the spokespeople for the regime. But this is what the Iranian ambassador to the United Nations had to say earlier today.
Israel and the United States have attacked Iran. They have violated international law and the Charter of the United Nations. They must be held accountable. So long as this aggression continues, Iran will continue to exercise its inherent right of self-defense.
And Jonathan, the president made it clear, President Trump, this is about regime change. Who could take control?
Well, that's the big question now. If indeed this is the end of the Iranian regime under the Ayatollah and that somebody under his wing will not try and resume control, it is going to be a pivotal moment for the region. I said consequential for Donald Trump because he has taken a big gamble here. He said repeatedly that he would not want to engage the United States in prolonged wars. And in a telephone interview with CBS News here in the United States, he seemed to say and suggest that these strikes could actually open the door for diplomatic talks. We've also seen the United States release new vision, its Central Command, showing some of its military action involved in these strikes today. But when it comes to Elizabeth Lavi, who's essentially been in exile here in the United States, is somebody who has put himself forward as a potential leader for Iran. And President Trump has said in that interview with CBS that they do have an idea of who could take over the reins when it comes to Iran. Didn't spell out any specific candidate, but this is what Reza Pahlavi put on social media a short time ago. He said the courageous Iranian people have paid a heavy price for freedom. Thanks to President Donald Trump, their hour of liberation is at hand. Regime change is what
Man, this internet sucks today.
all about. He called on the people of Iran to carry out an uprising against the government, and now the big question for Iran is to where to next. The eyes of the world are watching, Drew.
Want to just show you a status, some footage we've got.
Pro-American people who are very worried about what's happening right now because of Iraq and Syria and you could say Libya and all the other sort of intervention that's happened that's ended in disaster. Iran is different, and we've explained.
President Trump declaring Iran's supreme leader is dead. Our objective is to defend the American people, the U.S. and Israel, teaming up for a strike against Iran. The Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder. Right now, the aftermath from Iranians looking to forge a new path forward.
Today is an extraordinary day.
To those standing with the regime.
Yeah.
Step on this flag when we are dead.
All of it sparking new global security fears. Team coverage of the attack on Iran starts right now. Good evening, I'm Arthur Chia. Nearly 24 hours after the first missiles started raining down on targets in Iran, Iranian state media confirming its supreme leader is dead. President Trump made the announcement earlier tonight, but now confirmation from within Iran that the man who has led the nation since 1989, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is dead. The president posted to social media that Operation Epic Fury will continue uninterrupted through the week or longer. And here's a look at the attack that began overnight by the numbers. Our parent company Fox News confirming that more than 900 missiles were launched from air, land, and sea into Iran, with Iran responding in turn with roughly 300 missiles out of an estimated 2,000 long-range missile arsenal that they have. And just to give you some geographical context, take a look at these maps. The first one from the Associated Press showing the sites in Iran believed to have been targeted by Operation Epic Fury, as it has been called. And now here's a clear picture of the U.S. bases near Iran. This map also from the AP shows the U.S. bases in Jordan, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain. Our team coverage begins with our Duarte Gialdino live in the newsroom. Duarte.
Hey, Robert, Iranian state media now confirms Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. Now, the Associated Press is reporting Iranian state TV says he was inside of his compound in downtown Tehran when the strikes began. Satellite photos from Airbus show heavy damage at the site. The AP is also reporting the semi-official Fars news agency says the attacks killed members of Khamenei's family, including his daughter and son-in-law, as well as a grandchild and a granddaughter-in-law. Now, in response, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard says a severe, decisive, and regret-inducing punishment is coming over Khamenei's killing.
Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach.
And that was President Trump out. The United States and Israel, they launched Operation Epic Fury overnight. This was a joint U.S.-Israeli operation. And Trump made it very, very clear that he wants the people of Iran to stand up for themselves. Meanwhile, back here in New York, the conflict moved to the United Nations. The United States and Israel, they faced off with Iran at an Emergency Security Council meeting. The UN chief and several countries called for an end to the attacks and a return to negotiations to keep the war from spreading. Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz said the strikes were lawful. Iran's ambassador rejected that idea. Israel's ambassador said Israel had no choice but to act.
The operation targets nuclear infrastructure, ballistic missile sites, the machinery of repression that fuels terror across our region. We acted out of necessity because the Iranian regime left no reasonable alternative.
For the second time in the midst of the negotiation, the United States betrayed diplomacy and resorted to force and launched an attack against my country in blatant violation of Charter of the United Nations, presently interfering in Iran's internal affairs. They are even calling on the people to riot against their own government.
And Secretary of State Marco Rubio canceled his trip to Israel. He was set to go early next week. A State Department official confirmed it after the strikes in Iran. He decided just not to go. And tonight, President Trump wrote on Truth Social, quote, heavy and pinpoint bombing will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as he says is necessary. Arthur.
All right, thanks, Duarte. While President Trump and his cabinet members monitored Operation Epic Fury from Mar-a-Lago, the White House releasing these photos. The President, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and other secretaries were in Florida getting updates from the Situation Room back at the White House. This as Israel's military released this video showing its army chief addressing the top command of the Israeli Defense Forces in Tel Aviv today. He called the planning behind the strikes, quote, complex and complicated, and the preparation, quote, short but intensive and incredibly thorough. And look at this video out of Tel Aviv. You can see what happened after a strike on a residential building. Israeli authorities say this was the result of an Iranian missile strike that was in retaliation. Officials say one person was killed, 16 injured in that strike. Outside of Israel, Iran's launching retaliatory strikes as well across the Middle East. One missile reportedly striking a luxury hotel in Dubai, injuring 4 people there. This is a cell phone video that was taken just after the hotel burst into flames. Officials say emergency response teams were sent to the area where a loud explosion was heard. Many Gulf states are condemning Iran's retaliatory strikes and affirming solidarity with their neighbors in the region. World leaders reacting to this evening to the U.S. attacking Iran. The UK, France, and Germany are backing the U.S. and Israel, but also calling on the U.S. and Iran to resume talks. And they condemned Iran for attacking other countries in the region. This as the UN Secretary General convenes that special emergency session tonight that you saw Duarte report on.
We have condemned the massive military strikes by the United States and Israel against Iran. And I also condemn the subsequent attacks by Iran.
If you have people traveling abroad, you should know the State Department is issuing a caution alert for Americans around the world, particularly those in the Middle East. This development has sparked reaction from around the world tonight. While many Iranian Americans are celebrating the death of Iran's supreme leader, others are gathering to protest the attack. And as Fox 5's Richard Jacobus reports, the NYPD is responding by amping up security around our city.
Arthur, with those tensions rising thousands of miles away in the Middle East, there is a sense of fear and trepidation closer to home now with the NYPD beefing up security at sensitive locations all across the city, including here at the United Nations, and protests are already getting underway. And it seems like this from earlier today that That's prompting the NYPD to launch its strategic response group to ensure nothing gets out of hand. Skyfox was over this large group of demonstrations in Times Square this afternoon, with hundreds protesting against this joint attack on Iran. They call it an emergency protest, with many chanting, "Hands off Iran now." Shortly after the attack, the NYPD posting this message on X, writing that it is closely monitoring events in Iran and the Middle East and coordinating with our federal and international partners, as is our protocol, and out of an abundance of caution, we will be enhancing patrols to sensitive locations throughout the city, including diplomatic, cultural, religious, and other relevant sites. I spoke with former NYPD detective and now adjunct professor John J. Michael Alcazar about how officers respond to something like this and where those sensitive sites are.
They're going to have a lot of uniform presence at perhaps the United Nations, at churches, at mosques. They're going to deploy SRG oddly enough. Ironically, they're going to deploy SRG to the bridges, right? To the tunnels. They're going to have a harbor in the water, below the bridges, any place that's heavily populated. Times Square, Madison Square Garden, any of these soft targets, we have to harden with uniform presence.
New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani calling the military strikes on Iran, quote, a catastrophic escalation in an illegal war of aggression, going on to say he is focused on making sure every New Yorker is safe and has been in contact with the police commissioner and emergency management officials. And New York Governor Kathy Hochul writing, following the U.S. military operations in Iran overnight, New York State Police are increasing their presence statewide at religious, cultural, and diplomatic sites. And that is also stressed by the NYPD tonight. Even though there is no credible threats here, though, the NYPD and local officials are still urging New Yorkers to remain vigilant and stay alert. If you see something that's out of the ordinary, you can call 1-888-NYC-SAFE, or you can always call 911. We're on the east side at the UN. Richard Giacomas, Fox 5 News.
USA, thank you! USA, thank you! USA, thank you! USA, thank you!
And here's more reaction from across our country to the strikes against Iran being celebrated here by some. This rally was held.
Damn, they're saying USA, thank you.
People chanting against the Ayatollah and the Islamic Republic and calling for democracy in Iran. The Los Angeles area has the largest population of Iranians outside of Iran. However, there was this as well. Protests against the strikes broke out in Washington, D.C. Demonstrators denouncing the attack, demanding the U.S. not get involved in a new war. Tonight, a wave of emotions for Iranian Americans telling us that today, to them, feels historic. Some even calling it extraordinary, as news out of Iran sparks cautious optimism for them about what could come next. Fox 5's Michelle Ross is in Great Neck, Long Island, home to one of the largest Iranian American communities in the U.S.
In Great Neck, home to one of the largest Iranian communities in the country, Iran isn't just a headline, it's home.
Today is an extraordinary day.
Moji Pourmoradi was born in Iran and came to the United States at 5 months old. Like so many families, hers left decades ago, unable to return.
Even the thought that they might be able to go back there one day was something they didn't even allow themselves to think up until recently.
She speaks for many Iranians, forced to flee their homeland after the revolution in 1979. And now she says for the first time, the idea of taking her own children and newer generations of her family back to see their homeland doesn't feel like a dream.
More than anything, I know that war is very hard. And I really hope that everybody that is affected by it will be safe. But there's a level of excitement for anyone who has left Iran in the last 47 years and beyond.
But the emotion stretches far beyond Long Island. Yoel Rafinia was born in Tehran, moved to the U.S., and now lives in Jerusalem. He tells us from Israel, sirens have been sounding.
Contraptions on the wall for the kittens to jump around the room.
Eventually, if you guys look at the 360 video, the room behind the kitchen, where the washing machine is and all that, that's going to be the cat room. And then are you going at it again? There she goes. set it on the ground, right? And so I don't think I'm gonna put motion sensor on the camera right away. But when we get the cat room in the new house, see the new house, we're gonna have eventually, actually fairly quickly, we're gonna have 24-hour streams, not on kick. We're gonna have probably live.xingo.com or live.studio4q.com. One of those two will be will have a 24-hour stream behind a paywall. So if you guys want to watch us, well, like you guys, Mogi, Soul, Mikey, Brownie, my Hammer guys are all pretty much going to have access. But, you know, the idea is we get people to watch our lives, watch our kick streams, watch our other streams, our titties and tech streams, you know, and then as I grow an audience, they will pay to watch our risque streams or more real life streams. You know, that's kind of the idea. But yeah, I want to have like 6 or 7 cameras. I'm going to have everything set up so that I'm building the back end infrastructure right now to make all that happen. It will be cool. Cool. But yeah, the kitty cam will be
operation at Mar-a-Lago.
Of the technology I'm going to use to make that happen. Yeah, why not? Look, show that again. Look at her face. So happy she can use the bag. I'm gonna get a really good blow job there. I get a really good blow job.
So says, do the cats get their own channel?
I don't know. Maybe we might move it eventually to their own channel. But like I was telling Modi earlier, I'm thinking for the time being we'll probably use Janky Jib Jab or I might use it as a we'll move. But when we get the house cam up, that'll be one of the kind of free, right? With like a tip button. You know, people want to tip for cat food and all that kind of stuff.
Says, I'm going to send you a variant stream and watch. They have 24/7 stream. You can check the camera.
Is there a type of stream you don't watch, Moni? Is your life watching streamers?
So says,
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
Waves of explosions rocking Tehran for hours. Screams of horror in the street, cars and buildings in flames. The White House releasing images of the president monitoring the strikes in real time. A source telling ABC News the joint US-Israeli strike was meticulously planned for months and is expected to last days. The brazen daylight assault dubbed Operation Epic Fury, beginning at 9:45 a.m. local time. US and Israeli fighter jets involved, as Navy warships fired Tomahawk cruise missiles. At least 9 cities in Iran targeted. The Pentagon launching new US one-way drones for the first time in combat, striking command and control facilities of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, defense systems, missile launchers, and naval bases. Iran's retaliation swift and sweeping. Israeli air defense intercepting a barrage of Iranian missiles over Tel Aviv, some still getting through. attack came in.
The air raid siren has just gone off once again. It's been going all day. Already we're seeing the signs of what looks like air defense going up into the sky to try and intercept incoming Iranian missiles. All day long, they haven't stopped coming.
Iran also targeting at least 4 US bases in the region. Dramatic verified videos circulating online showing those strikes from Jordan to this US naval base in Bahrain, where 3,200 Americans are stationed. Not far from there, a drone blasting this residential building in Bahrain. Harrowing video showing the moment that drone came crashing in. People inside taking cover. Iran targeting Dubai too. This luxury hotel up in flames.
I wouldn't use this.
And in Qatar, people running for their lives. Our Marcus Moore in Doha.
You can see the air defense interceptors going into
In
the air,
the
those bright
gym.
patches of orange, and you can also hear the loud booms. This is what we've been hearing in Doha all day today.
The president with a sobering warning to the American people: US lives may be lost.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future.
Tonight, Iran saying more than 1,000 people were killed or wounded. Iranian state media claiming an airstrike on a girls' school in the southern city of Minab left dozens dead. The US now investigating, working to verify that report, saying it would never deliberately attack civilians. President Trump tonight making a direct appeal to the Iranian people.
We could get it set up here in a minute.
The regime.
To the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will
I
be
need to
dropping
bring a
everywhere.
wire out there then.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
So let's get right to Ian Pannell with us live tonight from Tel Aviv. Ian, you and I were on the air earlier when it was confirmed the Supreme Leader was dead. You were in an air raid bunker earlier, now back on the roof I see tonight. President Trump obviously confirming Iran's Supreme Leader killed in this U.S.-Israeli attack. But to be clear tonight, the U.S. saying this operation is ongoing, and so far no word of any U.S. casualties.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think for Iran, its future plunged into uncertainty. As you say, the US says no US service members have been injured, but this assault is still underway tonight, with Iran continuing to retaliate, and officials warning this war could last for days. David?
Ian Pannell leading us off from the region tonight. Ian, thank you.
As the U.S. and Israel launch military strikes, President Trump declares that Supreme Leader of Iran is dead.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating
She's a maniac, maniac. Oh no, on the floor. She's a maniac, maniac. Okay, so we have this one right here. Not exactly sure how we're gonna do it here. Where we at? Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, so something like this. I guess we'll could. I haven't watched the video, but I think I'm going to be doing more free weights. So, may do it like that. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not sure how. Let's see. So I have that camera for that TV. Yeah, now I'm gonna need something to charge it up. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do right here. We're gonna go fucking work out, get our shit, and then if we hit the bench, then it's gonna be like right here. We'll just adjust the camera here. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, we'll have to figure the other shit out. But yeah, that's kind of what I had envisioned. So it's getting back at it, man. It's getting back at it. I don't know. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what I want to eat. And to be honest with you, I'm really not that hungry. I'm just like hungry out of boredom. Yeah.
I think this is when you get an initial response. I think we'll see more over the next few days. Between us.
All right. Got to get my work clothes together, I guess.
Israel and U.S. forces stationed throughout the Middle East, and the Iranian ability to get those weapons out cleared and get a shot off. So I suspect the next few days with the strikes will be heavily focused on current Iranian ballistic and cruise missiles and on their drone launch facilities to ensure that these get knocked out. But this was a decent response. I was surprised that the shot got into the nav center.
I like these ratchet belts.
But also, we should assume that the adversary will be able to impose some cost on us in retaliation.
Ellie, let's bring you into this. Are you skeptical of the wisdom of this operation?
I think it all depends on the outcome. This is obviously a very complex operation. We are seeing basically move one moving into move two, or what's going to be a 40-move game. So there's a lot of risk inherent with this. Anytime you embark upon a path of war, and I think we just have to watch very closely in the days, weeks, and perhaps months ahead.
Do you believe this will be an air-only campaign, or if the goal is truly regime change, it will require boots on the ground?
I think that's an area where the Trump administration has a lot of control, and I think they've seen very clearly that boots on the ground is a bridge too far for them. I think where this campaign rely on quite significantly, the president alluded to it in his comments, is going to be the actions of the Iranian people. This air campaign, the boots on the ground for this air campaign, are eventually going to be Iranian civil society coming out in the streets and demanding a change of regime. And we haven't seen that yet, but that's what I'm going to be watching for in the days and weeks ahead.
Admiral, back to you on this. You mentioned a 2-week campaign. Are you imagining that as air only?
I am, and I agree, Elliot. I mean, the two times that we've successfully used U.S. air-only campaigns to change governments, Libya in 2011 and Kosovo in 1990, there was large armed insurgent groups that we were enabling during those attacks. What we have right now are large groups of activists and disaffected citizens, not large armed groups. So we'll have to see what happens in this. The 2-week campaign I envision would be one
do a little bit of housekeeping.
The remaining ballistic missile, both their systems, but also I would hit their factories in the second week. I would hit their production capabilities of both drones and ballistic missiles. And then if we haven't in fact obliterated the nuclear program, then I would restrike the nuclear program elements that still remain.
You mentioned the Iranian civil society as the next step in all this, but one never knows when you knock down a leader what grows in its place. Are you confident that what comes next will be better than what was?
I think what we'll potentially have is a power vacuum, and that creates a whole host of challenges. I mean, is there a scenario in which Iranian civil society rises up and demands a peaceful and democratic transition of power? I mean, sure, that's something we can imagine. But can we also imagine where Iranian civil society fractures, where you still have regime hardliners who break off, and you see Iran entering into a period of internal instability, leading up into a civil war and a Syria-like outcome. But that's also not outside the realm of possibility, and it's disastrous not only for the people of Iran, but create incredible instability in the region. All of this is in play right now, And I think the United States, because this is an air-only campaign, we will only have the ability to affect so much.
I don't know, if I was in Thailand,
Admiral,
if I was in,
30 seconds here. I'm curious, how long
if I was in
can
Thailand,
these strike groups float off the coast in the region?
Chicken on a stick.
Strike groups, especially when you're in combat like this, you do need some breaks, but the reality is they can maintain station for 3 to 6 months. Now, the Ford is in a unique condition, the aircraft carrier strike group in the Eastern Mediterranean. It's already been on deployment for 10.5 months. It's about to break the record for longest post-Vietnam deployment. So that one may need to be replaced.
Hey, what's going on, Harris? You doing all right?
I appreciate the expertise, Admiral Mark Montgomery.
Hope all is well with you. I just been here
In announcing today's joint strike on Iran, the
drinking
President
and
rationale for major combat operations, promising to target
talking to myself a little bit.
Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if
Reminiscing, if you will.
actually were armed.
Yeah, I'm not doing too much. Just got my work clothes ready to go to work. I don't know what happened to the stream earlier. It just kept on glitching in and out. And then the other thing I learned is that when we were out and about, you know, when we were in the car, the stream kept on dropping as well. I was like, well, that's not cool. But the bad thing is that
Harris 333 says, are you on OBS?
I am on Streamlabs. Is Streamlabs OBS? Does that make... I don't know if that makes sense. But I am on Streamlabs OBS. Is what is my understanding. And the stream just kept on dropping, and I was like... But the whole time I was thinking, yeah, you know, I'm just talking to chat, it's low volume day or whatever.
Harris 333 says 6000 KB should be good.
6,000 kilobytes. Yeah, see, that's kind of like bits per raid and all that stuff. I kind of get it. I kind of don't. I get it that you have to have a certain amount of bits or internet to actually energize or...
Harris 333 says it's usually 6 to 8K.
Oh, okay. Chunk out, yeah. Chunk out. Man,
Harris 333 says, but 6K draws less when it drops.
Okay. I'm not sure how I could navigate around that, I guess, or how I should, like, I don't... It's weird because in the States, I mean, I have the company through T-Mobile through the States. This is the best that the company has to offer, and it's still fucking dropping, and it's like concerning.
Harris 333 says it's always good when I'm watching.
Oh, okay. Okay, well that's good. So that means you need to watch more. I kid. Let's get another beer, man. Let's. Oh boy. And see, I have sodas back here for like I guess for mixed drinks, but I just usually take the shots. Yeah, Coca-Cola. Yeah, I don't know, man. The past couple of hours, I've just been kind of like, oh, fuck, man. I need to get back to Thailand, man. And it's this weekend that I've kind of made up my mind. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to go back to Thailand, man. We're going to go back and July. Yeah.
Harris
July or
333
bust.
says, grab to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Cheers to you, Harris, for being the OG day one, #1 supporter. Been with me through the boring times and the good times. Thank you. I really appreciate your friendship from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Chunk out. But I think in July we're gonna go out there. I'm not sure if Thailand celebrates the 4th of July.
Harris 333 says, hopefully many good times to come. Let's go.
Yeah. Absolutely, Harris.
Says, hey, bro.
Hey, what's going on, Irish Kick? Somebody cop? Yeah, long time no talk to, man. I hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you streaming. I've been on the lookout. But I hope everything's well with you and your family and your loved ones as well. You know, it's. But I am hoping to get back to Thailand in July, probably 4th of July, and stay there for another fucking 2 weeks or so.
Irish Kick says, thanks, bro. Hope you're doing well too.
Yeah, I love you, Irish Kick. You're the one who kind of inspired me to stream, along with some other streamers as well. So, but you were a part of that. So I do thank you. It's been an adventure. It really has. Because what's cool is that you get to meet people that you normally would not like talk to. Not necessarily because you don't like them or none of that. It's just that you have nothing to say to them because you don't have common interests or likes or hobbies or views or whatever the case may be. And what's cool is that streaming allows you to kind of collaborate and share thoughts and opinions and even the few trolls or a lot of trolls or whatever. Nevertheless, it's chat engagement, and that's what's pretty cool. You know, that I thought about streaming. But here, I was in Thailand in December. It was really great. Harris was there since day one, since I started kind of streaming, and I was having troubles with this text-to-speech stuff for like the whole fucking time I was in Thailand. And now I get to the States, and about a month into it, I guess, I mean, off and on, you know. I'm not full-time by any means. I'm part-time at best. I'm more of a contractor. It's like, hey, we need, you know, it's kind of like one of those, but as far as streaming, I don't have a set schedule. I usually do it on the weekends. Like this particular weekend, I'm forcing myself to do it. You know, every weekend I've got to do it. If I want to try to be a streamer or whatever, then I need to fucking do it 100% or like not. So at first I kind of half-assed it and was like, I'll stream when I want to. While, you know, people, your audience is like, well, when is this dude's gonna fucking stream? And is it streaming at the same time? So it gives no kind of clarity into like schedule or routine or anything else like that, and it's just random. And you know, a lot of people don't like that, including myself, especially for the people that I follow as well. Is like, well, you know, when are they gonna stream? What's going on? Are they okay? Or they hurt? Or like what's the deal? Because after a while you have a emotional and mental like vested interest into the people that you follow or whatever, you know, you engage with, live vicariously through, whatever the case may be, you know, it's like you're concerned. It's like, what the hell, you know, and I got to be better at that. So regardless of what's going on, I'm just going to at least turn on the camera, and whoever wants to engage can engage. If not, they could just exercise some voyeurism and just like watch me watch something else or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't have all the answers to everything. But yeah, still trying to figure it out. But what I am trying to figure out right now is, you know, getting back to Thailand in July. So we're going July 4th. And, yeah, the days. We'll lock it down here in the next couple weeks. No longer than a month, but here in the next couple of weeks, we'll probably lock it down by this week. To be quite honest with you, and get the pretty much hard dates and everything else in line and stuff. Let's take a shot, man. If you're out and about, let's take a shot. If not, take a shot of seltzer, Coca-Cola, whatever the hell you're drinking, man. The point of the matter is, it don't matter what you're drinking.
Irish Kick says, how have your positions been doing with the war?
How's my positions? Hold on. Chunk out. Oh, that was a little bit of a big shot, man. Oh.
Irish Kick says,
cheers. That's a great question, Irish Kick. My position has been pretty fucking shitty, to be honest with you. I have lost about 12% of my portfolio here within the past couple months, since the beginning of the year. So yeah, my stock portfolio is complete fucking shit right now. It's garbage, but I'm still up. I'm up like over 60%, but I was at like 72, like 81% on my portfolio.
Irish says, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear.
Yeah, but
Harris 333 says, hold each one for at least 4 years.
I mean, my shit was garbage, complete fucking garbage. I mean, I don't even mind sharing with y'all, because like what I say, what I have, and what I don't have, and what I lost is the goddamn truth. I mean, I'm not just sitting here spewing it just to be spewing it. I mean, I've shown some of y'all my portfolio and stuff. You know what I mean? I have no issues with doing that. Because I want to share knowledge. I want to share and relish in our victories. But I also want to learn and where we went wrong on our losses, you know. So it's just knowledge sharing. It's not to boast or, hey, I'm better than you kind of deal. No, I'm not about that. What I am about is education and being informative, and says, hey, look, me, I for one, isn't educated. I didn't go to stock market school. I just learned through trials and tribulations, and some things worked and some things did not. And yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily the war, but it is just the loss of confidence in the U.S. dollar at the moment. I mean, the war has contributed to it, especially when you know, with the United States and Israel bombing the hell out of Iran, and eliminated the Ayatollah, that is disruptive in the Middle East.
Harris 333 says gas went up 12% overnight.
Are you fucking serious? Oh wow. Well, that's because the fucking Strait of Hormuz, you know, they fucking control that area. Let me get this, man. I'm trying to take care of y'all and get some good lighting too, while I'm sitting here trying to fucking, you know, just talk and shoot the breeze and shit, you know. But nevertheless, yeah. But anyways, hopefully that's better lighting and not too distracting. Here, I'll turn it this way. But anyways, yes, it has really fucked up my my portfolio by about 12%, and you know, you're thinking 12% isn't bad. It isn't till it is, you know. Cause I'm banking my fucking stocks to rise for my trip to Thailand. Cause if things don't change, and if things don't change dramatically, then you know I'm gonna have to pull money sources from other areas, other investments and stuff, which I really don't want to do, but I will in order to get back to Thailand. And cause, I mean, I'm just having a fucking mental breakdown over here, you know, in the States. I'm just getting tired of fucking working and everything else. I mean, I'm at a different point in my life where I just...
Irish Kick says, how long are you planning on being in Thailand?
Well, in July, I plan on being there for at least 2 weeks, approximately 16 days, maybe 21, maybe squeeze that in. It just depends on my work. I work for a Fortune 500 company that makes arsenals for the world, I guess. But it just depends on if work's gonna authorize me to be gone for that extended period of time. Usually during December, though, I am able to go at least 3 weeks. Like last time, we stayed like 23 days in Thailand in December, because in December with Christmas, those are paid, authorized absences from work. So I capitalized on that and used my 2-week vacation, butted up to the week, you know, of authorized pay. So that's how I'm able to squeeze in 3 weeks in December. This time I'm hoping to, you know, I'm going to do at least 2 weeks. 3 weeks is, I gotta calculate how much leave and personal time that I have in order to burn it down to such a rate that it's going to build back up back in December, and I'll be able to take 3 weeks. I don't want to shortchange myself into, you know, fucking shortchanging myself of days. So that's what I do not want to do. Is like, oh fuck, I thought I had this many days and I don't. Now I have to do this, and I don't want to be scrambling. I want to make sure that I have enough days. I want to be clear, deliberate, precise, clear, very intentional into my movements. And when I say my movements, I'm talking about travel to Thailand. So I want to be very clear and deliberate, intentional, very authoritative. Like yes, we're gonna do it. It's not a maybe. It's not a possibility. It's not a no. We're gonna fucking do it. And we're going to do it on this day, this time, on this aircraft, and we're going to fly in and depart this time. Our layovers here, and our final destination is going to be here. So, again, clear, deliberate.
Here's 333 says, do you have Botrix.live set up?
Box Tricks Live. I don't know. Let's check it out. I believe I do. Box Tricks Live. Yes. Yeah. The problem is that there's so fucking many of them. You got Box Rigs. Box Rigs. Okay. Now the alcohol is talking to me.
Harris 333 says Kickbot.
Yeah. Yes. Kickbot. Then you have the Stream Elements, and let me look. I got some of this shit saved. Cause I'm just now getting into the whole streaming stuff. So yeah, you got the Bot Rigs, you got the Vox Box, you have Stream Elements. Streamlabs Cross Clips is the other one that I use. Kickbot. I mean, it's like far away. Then you have just the regular Streamlabs that because I use Streamlabs. They say it's Streamlabs OBS, but OBS is completely the whole dashboard looks completely different than the actual Streamlabs. So it's like, hey, what the fuck?
Harris 333 says, yeah, and there is more. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I learned is that okay, you have your main, and then there's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers, and these layers include my subscription goal is. And then, hey, I want this, I'm the goal is this, or this is, this is the fucking weather, or whatever. I like my streams kind of like very, very clean, if you will, very clean and simplistic. I don't like all these other banners and all this other shit on there. It's very distracting. It's and if you want to know the weather, fucking ask, or look it up yourself on Google. But I like a clean stream with little distractions, if you will. It just makes more for a better experience, not only for myself, but I think for the audience, for the chat, for the people that look. You don't have all these fucking distractions and interference and stuff, or because I've seen on some streamers, is on there and is like covering up some of the some of the content that they're trying to display. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I have some of that. To answer your question about the bot Rex, or Kickbox, I have that. It's really, really interesting because it's, like I said, it's just layers on layers, and some of these layers are duplicates. So these are like layers that has the same thing. Hey, are you a gamer? Do you want this kind of background? No, and if you do game, that's fine. But I, for one, am not. So, no, I don't want that. It's just there's.
Harris 333 says your Discord link on your profile is invalid.
I know. I've been trying to fix that, and I don't know how to fix it. Seriously, I do not know how to fix it. That's why I ended up taking
Harris 333 says, I will add a chat command when you fix it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, the thing is that when I go on Discord, when I click on it, it says it's invalid. But if I go on just dashboard Discord, put in F5ENTMT, it'll fucking show up. So where's the fucking disconnect? And I tried it over and over. I even done the link. I done the at F5ENTMT. Fucking doesn't work.
Harris 333 says, you open Discord and right click on your server and create new inite code.
Okay. Okay. You got a moment? You want to fucking do it now? You want to do it together? I'll fucking do it together. I mean, if you have time and kind of talk me through it or whatever. I mean, we can or
Harris 333 says, yeah, let's go.
Let's fucking do it, bro. Let's do it. Okay, let me switch from fucking camera to computer. So you could kind of talk me through it. Switch. Okay. What the fuck's going on here, guys? Fuck. What are we doing? Okay, so we'll go here. Yeah, it's a complete fucking mess right now, guys. I'll clean it up here in a minute. Add source. Okay. So we'll go here. Add video. Add source. Add source. Then we'll go Pocket 3. Finally, golly, that was a fucking nightmare to fucking deal with. Okay, we'll go here, minimize me, go to the window. Okay, and then we'll go this. Okay. Let's see. Invite your friends, personalize. Send, add your first app. I'm not sure where to go from here. Which, let me just do the whole deal here.
Harris 333 says, I love the Pocket 3, but I still think the best streams are on S25-26 Ultra.
Yeah, and that's what I have right now. I'm trying to do two things at once here. I'm sorry. Okay, now you can kind of see my screen here. Okay. Okay. So just yeah. I have the S26 Ultra. here, and then here is my other one. So I have that, and then I have the Apple one that I've got. But okay, what do I do? I'm not sure where to go here. Invite to server. Yeah, I'm completely so fucking new to this, bro. So I apologize if I act ignorant, because I don't know. Yeah.
Harris 333 says, go to the left sidebar.
Left. Go to the left sidebar. Okay, I'm here.
Harris 333 says, then right click on your server icon.
Okay, right click. Okay. Invite.
Harris 333 says, invite.
Okay, I got it.
Harris 333 says, then copy code.
Copy code. Okay. Boom. Okay, I copy code. Yeah, so I went here, right click, invite to server. Then from here, I copy code.
Harris 333 says, know you were there before, sorry.
No, we're good. I mean, okay, so we copied it. Now, where do we go? What do we do? Do we go back to our Kick channel?
Harris 333 says, then go to Kick and Creator Dashboard.
Okay, then we'll go here, Kick, Creator Dashboard. Okay. And then do what? I don't know, it looks kind of distracting. Okay. Studio monitor. Yeah, I'm taking all instructions. I know you're probably looking it up. Everybody lives slow, I appreciate it.
Harris 333 says, from home screen.
Home screen. Alright. I'm here on home screen. I should be following myself, shouldn't I? Channel. Alright. View channel. Okay. I don't have a view channel. That's what's weird. right here, I don't have a view channel. Yeah, that's all I have. Oh, view your channel. Duh. What a dumbass.
Harris333 says, on your kick.com homepage.
Okay. Okay, we got it. On your kick.com homepage. Yep, that's where we're at, right? View your channel. Yeah, we're on the homepage.
Harris333 says, maybe it's because you are broadcasting currently.
Alright. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we'll update it.
Harris333 says, we update it later.
Yeah, let's do that, Harris. Let's let me get and let me switch back to the phone. Okay. Are we there? Let me see. Here. Man, I can't see because the fucking light, man. Okay, I'll point here. Which camera? I'll point here. No, so and then I should be live on the phone. I don't know. Fuck. Yep.